It seems like everybody Maya knows is talking about careers. For some, like her friend Zoe, the choice appears simple. Follow your passion no matter what. Zoe is set on going to film school in New York City. She thinks Maya should also move to New York and pursue her lifelong passion for theater, just like they used to talk about when they were in middle school together. Part of Maya is enthralled by this possibility and wonders if Zoe is right. But she also has a passion for science, and she's always been the practical one. Mr. Rodriguez, her favorite science teacher, always emphasizes the value of making decisions based on hard evidence whenever possible. So Maya has been studying the data, and the reality for aspiring actors looks pretty bleak. The statistics are unequivocal. A career in science would be much more stable. Then there's her beloved Aunt Clara, who has always urged Maya to use her skills to help solve the climate crisis. It seems to Maya that a career in science might be a better idea than theater if she wants to make a real difference in addressing this global threat. But maybe there's something else she could do instead that would make an even bigger difference than either one of those. She feels caught between her feelings, well-meaning advice, and hard scientific facts. She's overwhelmed by a flood of thoughts, each seemingly leading her to a different outcome. The decision feels so important, and time is running out. How can she balance these different considerations and make the decision that's best for her? The answer is by reasoning. Making difficult decisions like Maya's requires taking information from a variety of sources, using all of that information to come to a unified understanding of a complex situation, and then using that understanding to make the best decisions we can. Reasoning can't guarantee the best outcome, but the better she reasons, the more likely Maya is to find the path that will lead her there. Let's take a more careful look at Maya's situation. She has information from a lot of different sources, but those pieces of information pull her in multiple, often conflicting directions. When she looks at statistics about potential earnings in different careers, Maya is relying on scientific evidence. Just like Mr. Rodriguez says, we should use scientific evidence whenever we can, and Maya has been acquiring a lot of it. But science can only tell her what's likely to happen if she makes different choices. It can't tell her what any of those choices would mean for her life. So, in addition to the hard evidence, she's also relying on the perspectives of other people. Without the help of others, we couldn't figure out much at all. The trusted people in Maya's life all provide her with different perspectives on her situation. Zoe's passionate perspective, Mr. Rodriguez's scientific perspective, and Aunt Clara's ethical perspective all provide important information that Maya can't get just by looking at the data. And maybe most importantly, Maya is relying on what she knows about herself. Most of her self-knowledge comes from introspection, her reflection on her own desires, values, and intuitions. She can't decide how best to pursue her passions unless she knows what they are and how much they matter. And that's something only she can find out for herself. Once you've gathered all of the information you can, the next step in reasoning is to use it to develop an overall understanding of the situation. Part of this means evaluating the different sources of information you're relying on. Suppose Maya finds out that the earnings projection data she's relying on are 15 years old, or maybe she learns that the personality test she took is especially good at predicting the career success in various fields. These discoveries should lead her to discount the value of the earnings projections in her decision and increase the value of the personality test results. The other part of coming to an overall understanding is taking all of these different sources and synthesizing them, combining and reconciling the pieces of evidence so that they represent the full picture. Synthesizing and evaluating go hand in hand. Maybe when Maya starts to think about her own values, she realizes that they align more with Aunt Clara's ethical perspective and less with Zoe's passionate one. Or maybe she comes to see that her desire for a healthy work-life balance is stronger than her desire for a solid income. This would lead her to prioritize that data over the earnings projections. And of course, reasoning also means being open to new information in the future. Maybe Maya will find out about an option that she didn't know she had. Or maybe she'll encounter a perspective she hadn't encountered before. Reasoning also means evaluating and synthesizing new information. It's an open-ended process. As you continue this process of gathering, evaluating, and synthesizing information, you will eventually arrive at an overall understanding of the situation you're in and which choices are best. All of us engage in reasoning all of the time, whether we call it that or not. But it's one thing to reason. It's another to reason well. To make the wisest decisions we can, we have to know, how do we reason well?